Hello everyone, welcome to Rise of Patience. I am back with another recorded gameplay between Kage and Red Bull. So let's begin. This is a Sahara 1 versus 1. On the yellow side we have Kage as Koreans. On the purple side we have Red Bull as Americans. And while Koreans are a good civilization, Americans just have too many advantages. So yeah, this is one of the better civilization out of these two. But let's still wait. Other things that it depends on the outcome of the game is how much ruins the both players get, and the positioning of the rare resources. So look, both as you see, both the players have started scouting. This is something you would be seeing a lot when you observe games with advanced players. A city has been dropped down by Korean and the American player. Now, something interesting about Koreans is when they are building a city, and if the opponent attacks with the heavy infantry, they are one of the civilizations that is least impacted by that, because their villagers can keep on building even if building and repairing even if the building is being attacked. So they are less prone to early raids that try to stop the city, unless of course you are so late that your villagers were dead before they could make the city. On the rare resources side, Red Bull has got Amber. It's an okay resource, nothing to fight about. But since he has it in the corner, it's going to be better protected. Then he has Cotton, a nice resource for Americans. Since Americans get a +4 income for every infantry unit that's not garrisoned, he can make a lot more units in a small time thanks to Cotton. In fact, it's a good idea to go despotism with Americans, because you will be making more units and those units will contribute to your economy that way. And he's got diamonds. Diamonds is an awesome rare, definitely worth fighting for and even towering it. So these are the rares that are directly falling within Red Bull's territory, so he can defend them relatively easily. Then we have peacocks. It's in the no man's land. Peacock is not a very important rare in standard games, just because that 10% population limit is not very helpful. And I won't be surprised if I don't see any of the players go for the Peacock right away. And Papyrus, this is something we will see a lot of fight about. At least I hope we're going to see a lot of fight. Because Papyrus is a clear... If your opponent is using Papyrus, you can almost always be certain that he's going to boom. He probably has an extra science compared to what you have. Wool in the corner. I've seen Red Bull use Wool a lot compared to any other player. So I won't be surprised if he is using that, but I don't think Kage is going to be worrying about that. Looking at Kage's rare resources, Kage has got Salt, which is a great rare to have, and especially if it's in the back, it can be easily towered. Koreans have cheaper towers, which make them just more feasible to be built. When I play a standard game, I usually try to tower every possible good rare in my territory, even if it costs me more metal. But I like the assurance that I won't have to be sending units and replenishing the merchant right there. And Kage is the first one to age. Let's look at the ruins. So 550, oh, is this Plamac or is it Red Bull? Now I am slightly confused, because initially it looked like it was Red Bull. So I'm sorry for all the confusion. It's Kage versus Mac. And so Mac has a different playstyle than Red Bull. Yeah, I should have noticed why he's not using Wool. Red Bull usually goes for Wool the first. So Mac has been in he's the talk of the town lately, because of all the replays that I have seen of him. I have commented on a lot of his games, and he has won most of the games. He has had a winning ratio of 1-1 with Red Bull, and he has won, I think, all the games that I commented, especially against Halen, Mac versus Halen. He won all of them. Kage has found out the diamonds, so that's good to know. Now he can do something about it. And Kage seems to be interested in a civic too. And it's very difficult to stop a Korean player from going civic too, just because as I told you, when they build, their buildings are not affected. The building time is not affected by the any attack ongoing on the building. And instead of fighting, the Mac has just decided he will go civic 2 as well. But it's to be noted that yellow seems to be in a much better position. He has commerce 2, he has civic 2, and a science and a military research, while Mac does not have the military. He has an extra science, which is helpful, but it's just because of that you lose some units, some yeah, you lose some wealth in the beginning. And I usually don't go for science 1, but that's my opinion. I won't say it's a good or bad thing. Great move by Mac. He already had 2 villagers. I assume he's also going to tower this. That's why these 2 villagers here. And Americans are slow to start in the beginning because they don't get any they don't get any obvious benefits of economy, except in the beginning at least, except the senator or the government upgrade being free. Another good advantage for Americans is that their scholars are they get a free scholar every time they build a university, and then their advantages are more pronounced in late in the game because of all the army they have and the free wonder they get, while Koreans have got a lot of economic advantage initially. First one being the free villagers they get every time they build a city. That's one of the reasons why Kage has such a better economy compared to Mac right now. And here's a stable coming from Mac. He has sent a light horse, which will only be able to scout and nothing else. Because even if he tries to raid Korean militia, militia will get the light horse easily. So he is trying to harass. I mean, as long as this horse does not die, it's not a bad idea. He wasted a few seconds of Kage. Well, I would say worth it, as long as he is not losing the horse. They both have nice economies. Kage is a little ahead in food. Okay, I don't know if that light horse from Kage came as a reaction to this one or he was just building it anyway. But if it was a reaction, then Mac did make him spend some resources there. Kage sending in a raid, and wool is especially good for Koreans because they do make a lot of villagers. Since they get free villagers, so their villager costs go up after that. So in Rise of Nation, there is this concept of inflation. Every time you build something, the cost goes up after that. If you build the same thing again, he managed to get 1 villager. He may also succeed in getting that caravan. I am not sure. So if you succeed in even getting your enemy's caravan garrisoned, you are doing a good job, because in that way you are making sure that the caravan had to stop working for a second, and that means you successfully reduced the enemy's wealth income for a while. This is kind of a bad decision from Kage because he's ultimately going to die. He's not going to survive this. So it would have been better to have run away from this side, maybe get a villager or a caravan on his way. But nothing that makes a lot of difference. These are just minor things that can sometimes annoy your enemy. But you can't win the game alone but just by doing these small things. Both of them peacefully sharing the papyrus. Doesn't look like Kage wants. Okay, Kage doesn't want to raid it, so he has this rally point set right here, and he's going to be sending it to Papyrus soon, while Does Mac want? Yes, Mac has the same idea. He has his stable's rally point set here, but unluckily he does not have the second military. That tower is good, and yes, he could not have towered it on any other side because of this rocky terrain. This terrain is going to become an oil mine after industrial age. So he had to tower it there. If he could, I would say yeah, towering it in front would have been a better choice. And a terracotta coming from American, this is a very common strategy, but yet it's a very successful strategy to go terracotta. I did not notice that Kage has despotism here. He's got this defensive tower, really good idea, and despotism is an awesome government research if you are planning to attack or raid heavily. Else, it can be a waste of resources. But the Kage seems like he wants to get it done. And so far, even with despotism, he is nailing in economy. He's using all the 150 that he's getting from Commerce One. He also has a nice wealth income, while Mac is not doing as fine as Kage right now. And finally, Mac has to get his barrack down. This city, New York, is not in a good position. It may be towered, but it's right in front. I hope Mac is considering deleting his Senate. Alright, Kage also dethrones him on the papyrus. That's something good to know. I wish Mac had raided him earlier. And Mac really needs to raid this one, but since he's being attacked, he's not going to do that because he wants to concentrate all his army right here. And that's a good part of keeping your opponent busy. So because Kage is not going to raid Papyrus, Kage has it all to himself, and this Papyrus is a very important rare. It can plunge you ahead, like way ahead of your opponent. All upgraded units, as I've said previously, the heavy cavalry archer combination is almost unbeatable. It's one of the best combos out there. It does cost you some extra wealth, but the way you should be compensating for it, if you are trying to go for a heavy cavalry and archer combination, what you need to do is you need to keep making those two units and sell other things like food. You can sell food or wood to get more wealth, and it's totally worth it. If you are getting a better army by selling wood, you should do that, especially with despotism, since you're getting cheaper army than your opponent, assuming he did not get despotism. And a great thing done by Mac. He got one of his sieges. If you are playing defensive and you don't think you want to take the fight right now, a good idea is to try to snipe the opponent's sieges so that you can survive. And Kage has an awesome economy here. He's got this 200 of metal because of this fourth city he put down here, and he's still able to keep on the offensive. Even though it looks like Mac has a bigger army, but Kage has a better army because of Kage has a better army because of the unit upgrades and the composition of this. Mac has no anti-cavalry units. Oh my god, that's bad. He has no anti-cavalry units. All these heavy cavalry are just going to push through this army. And there's all the siege that's dead. And suddenly Kage was in ambush, so he could not. So he did not back, and I think he got Mac to believe that he has less army. And look at all those Javeliniers that are going to be trampled by these heavy cavalry. He has also got in militia. a great idea. Every time you kill somebody, he also got the senator. It does not look good for Mac. Kage is also aging. It may be safe to say it's over already. He is getting his militia, but his economy is just dead. He is in no condition to age gunpowder while Kage is going there. Ooh. A siege factory, Mac? No, that's not what you want right now. So those militia did push him back. Oh no, are you gonna lose your senator? If you lose your senator, it is definitely game over. And the militia are trying to get the spot. No, they're not gonna do that. What Mac needs right now is to first upgrade, first get his government as soon as he reaches fourth. And he needs to replenish all these villagers as soon as possible. His economy is dead. It's one third of what Kage has right here. He is going for monarchy. Although in such a condition, I am not sure if president would be better or not. Well, maybe it's not better. So if he had gone president, he would get faster production of units, but he wouldn't get the cheap cavalry that he's going to get right now. The question does he have enough resources to make those cheap cavalry? This terracotta is going to be a savior for him right now. Ooh, Kage does not have enough units, and but Mac does not have enough anti-cavalry units or even cavalry, so they are going to get pummeled down. A monarch coming from Mac as well. So this is the importance of having a balanced army composition. So Kage had almost no army there, but just because his units were the exact counters to Mac, he could still take the fight. And he has to constantly bring out militia so that he can fight Kage's army. That's not good. That's not good because it's not that he has any other advantage right now. He's not economically ahead. This is going to turn out into a loss. He had to bring back, I think, all of those militia again. He has I don't know if was the best time to research get those cannons, because he did end up spending a lot of wood and metal for that, while he's not in a condition to protect himself at this moment. Kage also seems to be not doing so well. I don't know. Did he forget to replenish these? Were these raided? I am not. I don't remember exactly. Mac has got this back at least. He's being pushed back, but I assume his monarch died, so he'll have to come back. And it does become difficult to beat the American player later. Oh, so it all turned out well for Mac. Well, I'm not a really good analyst, it turns out. But Mac still needs to get his eco back. He's got a nice army to take down Kage. And I don't know if Kage forgot about this or what happened here, but he's suddenly not doing as well as he was before. Oh, it's going down for Kage. Monarch is finally back. Does anyone have a castle? None of them have a castle, so nobody's getting the armor upgrades either. All right, Kage is back with his army. Well, this battle has been fought back and forth, and I want to just point out how strong Americans are in the late game. Even without an economy, uh, Mac is able to keep pushing, keep pushing Kage back. I doubt the positioning of this castle. It may be taken down. Yeah, it may be taken down. It's not a good position. I hope he completes it. But if any of the units find out, if for some reason one of the units wanders into that area and he discovers this, he's just going to start sieging that instead of the city. While Kage does not seem to be getting a castle, so that castle can be game changing. We'll get to get this back, get this in front. Could this be the battle that we are waiting for? Is it the end battle? No, purple seems to have a nice army there. Oh, and those militia are going to be hurt by all that accretion, because militia are not entitled to getting the supply benefits of the government leader or the supply wagon. So this is also a way to survive. Oh, he finally saw that, and he started sieging it. Oh man. He started sieging it. If he takes it down, that's going to be a big hit for Mac, because he just lost all those resources. Oh, and there goes the siege. Mac is still surviving this, and a lot of his army is archbishops coming from terracotta. So, good choice there. He got the terracotta in the right time to save him. The monarch is a little farther away, that it's not giving them the armor bonus. Finally, he moves the monarch in front. Oh, and he's going to take down. Is he all right? So we have seen the Mac finally got his monarch, but he lost the capital, and that was a great fight. I can't believe. Yeah, I can't believe this is. So this castle should have been somewhere behind, so that it could have been completed early, and the tactic upgrade could be researched. What helped? What helped Kage here was the salt, the bison, a little bit of the wool, yeah, and yeah. Well, since the tobacco was right in front of him, why not use it? Meanwhile, Red Bull had the, Mac had the diamond and cotton right here. So with the rare resources were quite balanced. I don't think either one side had a better deal, but Mac made a few bad choices. One of them being the late raid for Papyrus. If you delay the raid for Papyrus, you are letting your opponent get the extra science researches. Another thing was he got the he later did raid because he had that military 2 upgrade late as well. He should have got the military 2 upgrade earlier. That capital could also have been avoided. So this game was not over. As you can see, the fight was very close. Kage almost got the city, and I believe Mac might have taken it back. If yeah, there was a possibility he could have taken it back. All he needed was first to get his capital at the back. It's not a good idea to have your capital so exposed, and there's no tower here, and all that was protecting his capital was the army. So this is something all the players can keep in mind later. So you may argue that a capital way behind can make it difficult for you to protect it, but it's much better than a front capital. So if, let's say, if this was a capital and Mac is trying to sneak in, the only ways he can sneak in is through this way or this way, and it doesn't cost a lot to get a lookout on one side of this map and the other side of the map. to just be sure. In fact, I always put lookouts on the corners, on the sides of the map, so to check if the opponent is coming with raiding units, so that I can prepare for them in advance. I do lose the lookout, but I get the heads up about the raids, and that makes a difference. So all right, that's it. It was an awesome game by both the sides. Kage played it really well. He used Koreans in an awesome way. He used all the rare resources at his disposal, and that's what won him the game. So I'll see you guys next time.